Hey icons, it's the iconic fashion figure back with another video. This week I'll be giving you guys a few tips on things you should know when buying wholesale. For those of you that are already a part of my iconic world, welcome. And for those of you that are new, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so that way you can join the money team. So some of you may be new when it comes to buying wholesale. For the most part, when buying wholesale, it's basically just like going shopping, but it's not. There's a lot of things that you need to know and things to consider when buying wholesale. So I'm here today to give you guys some tips to help you out when you're buying wholesale and things that I feel you should know when you're buying wholesale. First thing you'll want to do before making your first wholesale purchase is to figure out your budget. I've gotten a few different DMs from people asking how much they should invest when they start up their business. I do have a video discussing like the beginning phases and how much to spend when starting your business. But when it comes to the product specifically, there's no one amount that I can give you to say, okay, you should have X amount of dollars when buying wholesale. It's more so based off how much you want to invest in your business. How much are you willing to spend, or how much do you have in your bank that you're able to put into this business? So the first thing you'll want to do is figure out your budget when shopping wholesale. And then you kind of want to work backwards. So let's say you decide, just to throw out a random number, let's say you have $100 you want to use when you go shopping for your wholesale product. You'll take that $100 and decide, okay, how much can I get with this $100? As you're shopping the different wholesale sites, you'll get an idea of how much each pre-pack is, and you'll kind of figure out how much you're able to buy depending on the different brands you're looking at and what price point you want to be at. So let's say the brand that you're looking at, you know that their pre-packs are averaging $50. You have $100 to spend, so now you know that you can buy at least 2 pre-packs. But before we even get that far into actually breaking down your budget, we'll want to get into tip number 2. You'll also need to know your customer, meaning you need to know what your customer likes, what their personality is, their age range, all of that. You'll need to know who your target customer is. And one of the main things you'll want to know about your customer is how much they're willing to spend. So let's say you have just a college student that is your customer. They may not have a lot of money to spend on products, so you don't want to go buy high-end product and then your customer can't even afford to buy it. Or you don't want to be targeting a high-end customer and then buy fast fashion, which is typically a cheaper product. So you'll definitely need to know your customer, and that'll also help you when it comes to figuring out your budget. Because if you have a college student that wants fast fashion and isn't planning to spend like more than $30 or $40 per item, you know that, okay, maybe you'll want to go for those pre-packs that are only $50 versus someone that has a high-end customer. You may have to spend your whole $100 on one pre-pack. That's not really high-end, but just throwing random numbers out there. So tip 2 is to know your customer. Tip number 3. So for tip number 3, before you, again, make any wholesale purchases, you'll want to do your trend research. You'll want to look out there and see what are customers buying. That's part of knowing your customer. What are your competitors selling? What's on their floors or on their online boutiques? What's trending on social media that everyone's gravitating to, because we know social media has a high influence. So if people are seeing it all over Instagram or on Facebook or Twitter, they'll all of a sudden want it just because it's out there, or what their favorite celebrities and influencers are wearing. If they see it out there, they're gonna want that. So you'll definitely want to know the trends. So jumping into the next tip, which kind of goes hand in hand with knowing the trends and doing your research, you'll also want to shop around. 2 ways to shop around. One would be shopping around retail stores, so you'll know what's out there, what everyone is selling. You'll always want to know that information. Part 2 of shopping around is shopping around the different wholesale vendors. See what everyone is offering. See what their price points are, because maybe someone, let's say there's 2 jackets and one has a pocket on the left, the other doesn't, but the vendor that's selling it with the pocket is charging you an extra $10 and the only difference is 1 pocket. Do you want to save the $10 and not have the pocket, or is that pocket a make it or break it deal? So definitely shop around, because there's a lot of vendors that may be selling similar product. You may be able to save a little money, or you may realize that, hey, if I invest a couple more dollars, it actually adds more value to my product, so I'd rather buy it from the other vendor. So definitely shop around. So tip number 5 when buying wholesale. You'll definitely want to plan ahead when it comes to seasons and different seasonal items and buying habits. So right now we're at the end of August, or maybe by the time this video gets uploaded, no, we'll still be in August when the video is uploaded. Hopefully, if not beginning of September. At that time, everyone's pretty much buying fall products. This time of year is a little tricky because you have some climates that are still hot, some are starting to cool off. I don't think anyone's really cold just yet, but it'll be hitting soon. So you'll want to plan ahead and knowing what product to buy, because you don't want to buy too much summer product when everyone's gonna start getting cold. But maybe people are still buying summer product, people are still taking those last minute summer vacations. So you'll want a little summer product, but not too much. You'll want to start jumping into fall, but you don't want to jump into heavy coats and sweaters, heavy sweaters, because people aren't really buying that yet. And then in the coming months, you'll start jumping into the holidays. You'll have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. All those holidays are coming up. It's the holiday season approaching. So you'll want to think about that too. When you're making your first wholesale buy, are you going to be listing it immediately, right when you receive it? Or is it going to take you a little while because you want to do your own photo shoots? You need to inspect your own product. So it might be another 2 or 3 weeks by the time you actually upload it, which means almost a whole month is gone by. Now the weather's changing, the holidays are coming up. Think about those things before actually making the purchase, because you don't want to make the mistake and buy a product that will no longer sell. So tip number 6 almost goes with knowing your customer. And this is knowing what pre-packs and what size breakdowns to buy. You have to know what sizes your customers are planning to buy, because pre-packs do come in varieties. You may have small, medium, large, 2 of each size. You may have extra small through large, 1, 2 to 1, or maybe extra small through extra large, small through extra large, whatever the case may be. There's different pre-packs. You need to know what your customers would buy. Are they more on the smaller scale, so you want more small and extra small? Are they on the other end of the scale where they may want large, extra large? Do you have more mediums? You need to know what pre-packs work best for you. For the most part, the standard pre-pack is small, medium, large, 2, 2, 2 is what you'll see. But there are other options out there, and you'll need to know if you do need those extra small or extra large to see if vendors offer those, because those are what will sell for you, even if it's just one piece of those sizes. Number 7 is a really important tip that I can give you, probably one of the best tips I can give you. Actually, it's not the best one because I saved the best one for last, but it's one of the better tips, and you'll probably hear it often. When you are buying wholesale, you are buying for your customer and not yourself. So you'll be shopping all these different vendors, and you'll see product that you may love, but it may not sell to your customers, depending on who your customer is. You yourself may be your customer, but maybe not. For the most part, probably not. That's like when, I think I told this story before on one of my videos, but when I first started a boutique, I thought that my customer was going to be this college student until I actually started listing on my product and marketing it. Older women, maybe in like their late 30s, early 40s, that were buying the product. And it threw me off because I thought it was going to be this younger crowd buying it, but no, I was wrong. And one of the main things was because I was buying a lot of basics, because that's what I was missing in my closet. So I was buying it because I'm like, I need this. So in my mind, since I needed it, everyone else needed it. But no, I wasn't my customer. Well, I became my customer because that's who ended up buying the product. But the group that I was trying to target turned out to not be my customer. So it goes back to tip number 2, make sure you know your customer and make sure you are shopping for your customer, not for yourself. Tip number 8 is for those that are overwhelmed or really confused about what to buy or nervous about buying because you don't want to invest your money in something that won't sell. The best thing that you can do is call up these vendors or email the vendors and ask them, what's your best sellers? What's selling best for you right now? What are the newest items? Because you want it before everyone else starts throwing it on their floors, if you have the eye for knowing good product. So just get familiar with their brand, or maybe there is a bestseller style but there's new colors. You want to know what color sells best than compared to the others, because there may be a color that does not sell well. You don't want to be the one that gets stuck with it. So find out that information from your vendors as well. Communicate with them, talk with them, have them help you do the work, because they will help you do it. That then leads me into my next tip, tip number 9. We all know that, well, hopefully you guys already know that when you jump into running a boutique, you may buy this product and you're all excited about selling it, and you may only sell like 2 or 3 pieces at the full price that you listed at, and then you'll get stuck with the other 3 pieces. So my tip to you is to come up with a game plan on marking down your items or putting things on sale before buying it, because that'll help you also figuring out your pricing. So when you buy the product, you'll want to set like your target, like your reach goal, and then your main goal. So let's say my main goal is to sell at least half of the pre-pack at full price. Of course my target is to sell all 6 pieces at full price, but if I don't, I at least want to sell half of it at full price, and then the other half, either there'll be a promotional code that I'll throw out because I know a holiday is coming up, or I'll offer free shipping, or I'll just come up with a plan that I'll say, okay, after 3 weeks, if it hasn't sold at full price, I'll mark it down 10%, and then another 3 weeks, I'll mark it down another 20% or another 10% to give it equivalent of 20%. Come up with the game plan so that way you can at least break even on the pieces that you don't sell versus losing money, because you definitely want to keep it moving so that way you have income coming in, and the money that you have coming in you can put towards new product and list that product, and now you start to have a flow, and now you're building up your store. Now you really feel like you have a business goal. And then for tip number 10, the best tip of all the tips that I can give you out of my entire list. I did a list of 10. I can go on forever, but it's late and I'm tired. So it's a quick video just to help you guys out since I'm giving you all these vendors. So the best tip I can give you is to find unique and different pieces. The reason I say that is because of with social media. Yes, I told you guys to look at the trends, know what's selling, know what everyone is gravitating towards, but you don't want to be 1 in a million that's selling the same exact product as everybody else, because now you're trying to compete as far as pricing, which is fine. You guys know, I've already said in another video, I love competition, so I don't care. But when you're dealing with selling at retail, unless the customer truly knows you and feels comfortable with you and is loyal to your brand, they're not buying it from you, because they can go get it from Fashion Nova that they're already familiar with. They can go get it from Forever 21 that they're already familiar with. They know they can return to these places. They know they're big corporations, so even if they wear it and return it, there's no problems. They'll screw those brands over, but you're a small business. You don't want to get screwed over. So, not saying not to buy those big trends, but if you see a specific item being sold at every single boutique and all the big chain stores, I would recommend staying away from it. Keep the idea of the trend, but try to find something a little different. You want something in your store to be a little different, to give people a reason to buy from you instead of others. Even if it's the same style, but maybe a different color. Like I said before with the jacket, maybe it's a pocket or no pocket. Try to find things that are a little different, and of course try to find trends that you may see popping up a little bit, but it hasn't gone mainstream yet. You be the one to set it so that it goes mainstream. So the best tip I can give you is to find different and unique pieces. So this is probably the first video I've done where I didn't ramble on for 20 minutes, but try to keep it quick, straight to the point, give you guys some information I feel would be great for you, those of you that have watched the vendor videos and are already registering for those websites and shopping with those vendors. Try to help you out so you don't lose money. We're in this to make money. So I think for next week I want to do a video on trying to figure out the budget when it comes to buying wholesale, and I'll show you how to plan out the budget. I actually started recording a video similar to that, but I think I want to redo it. So you guys let me know in the comments what amount you would be comfortable with spending on wholesale product. Like, just comment a dollar amount. Don't do anything silly like $20, because we know we can't buy much with $20 to resell. Actually, I might. It might be a challenge, but I can try it. But just comment below an amount that you would be comfortable with spending on wholesale product, and I'll try to use that for my next video. I'll pick maybe like one or two of the amounts, and I'll create a budget with some products to show you what you can buy with that dollar amount.